Shalom. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Giving honor and praise unto the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael of the tribe of Dan of the nation of Israel. This particular presentation, brothers and sisters, is called Hebrew Class, Simple Sentences in Honor of Emah Tamekyah. Now, let me explain what I mean when I present this in such manner. These particular lessons, as one was done in honor of my teachers in the past, be they Emah Naami, Emah Keturah, Emah Dina, and so forth and so on. So is it in the same manner in this particular aspect, brothers and sisters. And what we want to point out is that when I was a child in Hashaba Yisrael, and when I say a child, I'm talking 13 years old. I'm talking being in the 7th and 8th grade. You understand? I remember on certain times on Tuesdays, or what we would say as Yom Shalishi, that is to say the third day. I remember Emah Tamekyah going over the Hebrew verbs and going over the Hebrew nouns and going over the Hebrew verbs again and so forth and so on. So now we're talking decades later. I want to periodically, brothers and sisters, give due human benevolence to some of my morim, that is to say my male teachers, and some of my morot, which means my female teachers. All right, so that's what it is as far as it goes in this particular case. All right, giving honor and praise unto the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. Let us go on, if we will, to the next slide. Part 1, I want. Now, brothers and sisters, I left it in a certain way so we can highlight it, all right, and color code it for what we're talking about. I want, and it's spelled as such as this in Hebrew. As we've gone over in lessons in the past, the Hebrew way to say I want is ani rotze. Ani rotze. Now, ani is for the male or the female. All right, so we can understand what that is in that particular regard. The ani is for the male or the female. And brothers and sisters, once it comes right down into it, the word rotze, brothers and sisters, we want to sit there, all right, and show for edification purposes. Rotze. All right. Now, this is, brothers and sisters, only within what we call the present tense. All right. So, ani rotze means I want. Now, this is when a male is speaking. In this lesson here, we will only go over the masculine aspect, not the feminine aspect. All right. So, that could be noted for edification purposes. Okay. So, let's go on, if we will, brothers and sisters, to the next part. And we want to sit there and highlight this in particular color. This is why it's important in this regard to pay attention in that particular case. Okay, I drink. All right, let's look at it like this. And this is said in Hebrew as ani shote. Ani shote. All right, I'm going to sit there and type this in the room in that regard. Shote, drinking. So a male would say what? Ani shote. A boy or an elder male will say what? Ani shote. Just like right now, I was just drinking water, so I would say Ani shote mayim. Now, if you want to get into other words such as meat for juice and yayin for wine, we can go there. But I just want this to be noted because of the level that we are in this particular lessons and presentations, brothers and sisters, is not, and I say this in no disrespect, on an Aleph Bet Gamel Dalit. We've already gone there. You can go back to lesson 4. It is still on the same channel. Don't sit there and feel away if you have to do that. That's why this is kept online for edification purposes. Okay, so if we will, let's continue to go on in this particular aspect. All right, and we want to highlight this light blue. I think, and in Hebrew, for those who are listening, we would see it as ani kosheb. And I'm going to type that in the room. Ani kosheb. All right. So we could begin to understand what we're talking about for edification purposes. Ani kosheb means I think. It also means I am thinking. All right. So this is something we want to point out for edification purposes in that particular regard. Kosheb, thinking. Okay. The next thing that we see, brothers and sisters, is I eat. And we want to highlight this a particular color. And the reason why I'm doing the highlighting in a particular colors is for those to be able to follow in the Hebrew as well as in the English of such. I eat. All right. We're going to erase that because that's a bit too dark for that. We're just going to underline it inside of the pen and the purple. All right. I eat. Said in Hebrew as ani okel. Okay. Okel, which means eating or eat or eats. Okay. Now, brothers and sisters, are there any questions or comments concerning what we've just gone over? If so, please feel free to comment concerning any questions or comments that you may have concerning what we just explained and what we went over. Once again, brothers and sisters, giving honor and due benevolence unto the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. This particular lesson, brothers and sisters, is in honor of one of my female teachers by the name of Gebere or Emah Tamekyah. Because the reason why I wanted to do it in honor of her is because I remember when I was a little boy, brothers and sisters, and this particular person went over meticulous with me once it came down to the language. See, you respect those who help pave the way for you, and it doesn't take away nothing from you for doing so. Brothers and sisters, let us continue on in this particular regard. The next thing we see here, all right, we're going to put this in the highlighter. Let's make this one green here. We see I see, all right? And that in Hebrew is said as ani ro'eh. So we're going to type that also in the room. Ro'eh, meaning see or seeing, okay? So these so far that we've gone over and what we will only discuss in this particular lesson, brothers and sisters, is the aspect of males. If a male is saying it, regardless of the age of the male. Okay, so let's go on, please, to the next part. And we see this here. I hear. And in the Hebrew, it's said as ani shome'ah. Ani shome'ah. Show shome'ah. All right, that is the present tense. We're only dealing with the present tense in this particular lesson. And we're only dealing with the aspect of how a male would say it. Okay, so I want to take the time out now and show for edification purposes. Are there any questions concerning what we're talking about so far? You have the sheen, the wow, the mem, and the iron. This iron takes the ah sound underneath it. That's why it's shome'ah. and not shomeh. All right, so we can gain understanding of what we're talking about. Shomeh. Ani shomea oto. I hear him. Ani shomea ota. I hear her. All right. So this is just something we want to point out for edification purposes. Are there any questions or comments concerning what we've gone over so far? I'm going to ask in the room. Any questions or comments concerning what we've gone over so far? Next slide. Okay. We have the word kosheb. Now, for those who care to know, the word kosheb, brothers and sisters, it comes from the root word kashab. Okay? That means thinking, as we explained earlier. We also saw the word ro'eh. The word ro'eh, as we explained, means seeing. It does not mean watching. It means seeing. We're going to explain what we're talking about as we go along. All right? We've also had the word, okay, the word okel. And I wanted to erase that so that way people won't be confused that this actually is a wow itself. Kosheb, okel, and ro'eh. All right? For those who just joined on, giving honor and praise to the creator, maker of heaven and earth. This is called Hebrew class simple sentences in honor of Emah Tamekyah. Let's go on, if you will, to the next slide. Thank you. Part 2. I can. Okay? And what we're going to do, brothers and sisters, is highlight, if we will, in the green, if we will, in this part here. I can. And this, brothers and sisters, and I want to show this with the pen, if we will, for edification purposes. This is the word Yakol. The word Yakol. It means I can or I am able to in Hebrew. Okay, and I wanted to show the vowel aspect with the red so it stands out. Now, as stated, this is a masculine person, that is to say a male, all right, saying so. I can in Hebrew, said by a male, is Ani Yakol. Ani Yakol. Okay, so let's continue on, brothers and sisters, in this particular aspect, if we will. We have, going to show it with the highlighter again, but we want to use the yellow, if you will. All right. I do in Hebrew is the word ani ose. We've gone over this root word asa in the past. And in the description, I'm going to share that video about that, the word asa, which means to do or to make. For those who've been following along from before, that word sounds familiar. All right. So we can gain understanding purposes. It is said as ani ose, which means I do or I make. Okay. The next thing we want to go over, get your pens and papers out, brothers and sisters. All right. Using a highlighter, we're going to use the green, the lighter green, if we will. The word I understand. And I say this in due respect. In Hebrew, There is no way to say I overstand or I understand. That's what we do as people of color when dealing with slang in English. In Hebrew, it doesn't work in that manner. All right. So I just want to point that out for edification purposes. I understand in Hebrew is said by a male as ani ban. Ani ban. All right. So this is what we want to point out in that particular case. If there's any questions or comments concerning what we've gone over, please feel free to comment inside the comment board. All right, concerning the lesson that we're talking about. The next thing we have, brothers and sisters, going back to the highlighter, we want to use the light blue this time in this part. I speak. In Hebrew, it's said as ani dober. Ani dober. All right, so I'm going to sit there and type this in the room if we will. Sorry about that. Yakol, can, or able. Then we had ose, do, or make. Then we had ban, understand. Then we have dober, which means speaking. So ani dober means I am speaking. Now I know a lot of brothers and sisters in Israel, when they hear that, they probably wondered why I said that is the word as opposed to the word ani medaber. Ani medaber is the common way to say I speak. But when you go, brothers and sisters, into the book of Zechariah in the Hebrew, you do see dober, meaning speaking. All right. So we just want to point that out for edification purposes. So if you hear a person, a male in this case, saying the words ani dober, one is not wrong in what one is saying. Okay. So let's go on, if you will, to the next part. We want to highlight this a different color. Okay. No, we're going to use the pen because that's going to be too dark on the thing. I go. And we're going to underline the words that it says in the Hebrew. Ani holek. Go or going. Ani holek. This is a male saying, I go or going. Okay. I am going. Because am is and a are understood in Hebrew. It's not understood in English, nor is it understood in Spanish. But in Hebrew, those words am, is, and a are understood. So there really is no set aside word for such. All right. So hopefully that's understood. Any questions? Please comment inside the comment board. Okay. We want to go on, if we will, to the next particular part with the highlighter. Now we're going to use the pen. Sorry. Because it's going to be too dark on the thing. And we're going to use a different color with the pen. Sorry. I need, said by a male in Hebrew, is ani zorek. Now, can we understand so far with some of the words and the patterns, right? You have what, brothers and sisters, and we want to show this with the laser pointer, if we will. Do, ber, ho, lek, zorek, o, e. We have gone over this in the past, but what we're doing, brothers and sisters, is simple sentences. Now, if you have been following the pattern of these particular lessons, you will begin to see, know, and understand that if you take the other vocabulary words that you would have been studying, because remember, building your own vocabulary is just building your own vocabulary. So whatever you like to do, you can take I am doing, I am making, I am going, and you can build sentences from that particular point. You see, once you understand something like this is how you begin to get into the speaking of Hebrew. See, it's not that difficult. And this is why I named the book Not Playing Salesman on Toward the Shabbat. But this is why I named the book Hebrew is Easy. Hebrew is not difficult. All right. So this is something we want to point out in that particular regard. Let's go on, if you will, to the next slide, please. Now, let's look at some of the stuff that we've gone over for edification purposes. We had, brothers and sisters, the word Yakol. right? We had the word dober, and brothers and sisters, we had the word ose, as we discussed several times. Now, for those familiar with Hebrew, I want to state, all right, yes, words like yakol and ose are considered to be what you call irregular verbs. I don't call them irregular in this class because if it's your language, it's not irregular. It just simply is what it is. Okay, so, but these are things that we've gone over just so far. All right, now are there any questions concerning what we're talking about? Yakol, as shown, brothers and sisters, over here. But I want to sit there, if we will, and show it with the vowels in this particular case. And I'm gonna make the aspect a different color. Yakol. Ah, there you go. Dober and Ose. All right. Brothers and sisters, if there's any questions as we've been going over, please feel free to sit there and comment. All right. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go on to the next slide, if we will. Part 3. All right. Now let's look at this. And we also, as before, is going to show with the highlighter and color code it according to so. Let's look. I read. All right. And that is said as ani quore. Ani quore. Okay? For those who are interested. Ani quore. Then we have, oh, we want to highlight this in a different one. The reason why I'm highlighting in different colors is so that way when you're seeing it, you can see that the color code is what it is. I wear. All right? Said in the Hebrew here as ani lobesh. All right? Ani lobesh. So let's type this in so far. You have quo re, which means reading or reads. I read, ani quore. Then we had what? Lo besh. Wear or wearing. Now, how do you say, can anybody tell me how to say garment in Hebrew? All right. How do you say garment in Hebrew, brothers and sisters? Anybody? How is the word garment said in Hebrew? Okay, somebody typed in gebed. Let's try that again, brother Yair. How do you say the word? Because you got the right letters, it's just ordered the opposite way. So you typed in gebed. So let's try again. Thank you for the reply nonetheless. But how do you say garment in Hebrew? Brothers and sisters, namely Yair, the one who already replied to it. The Hebrew word for garment, no problem. See, this is what I want to emphasize too. And I try to emphasize this when I was teaching Hebrew when I was inside of a camp before, but that's another story. But getting back into this particular thing right here, we as adults, and I'm going to associate us all online here as adults. When I say adults, I'm not talking about necessarily grown, but at least over 15 years old. Okay, now, when a baby walks, a baby falls, a baby gets back up as if the baby did not fall. And I say this in due respect, the baby doesn't apologize for falling. So we are, in many cases, brothers and sisters, babies in this. So if we happen to make a mistake, don't say apologies and so forth to someone. You know? The word for garment is beged. Beged is the Hebrew word for garment. So now, if we're taking that right there, and we see I wear, it said in Hebrew as ani lobesh. I don't even like that. I'm going to sit there and erase that highlight part. All right, we're going to use the pen. Sorry about that. We're going to sit there and use the pen, brothers and sisters, in that particular case. All right, I wear, because I want to emphasize this one with wear for a reason. All right. All right. So here we go. I wear. Ani lobesh. So if we already emphasized that the word for garment is the word beged, so a male would say ani lobesh beged. I am wearing a garment. That's a complete sentence. Ani lobesh tibul. I am wearing a turban. Ani lobesh kippah. I am wearing a hat. Ani lobesh miknasayim. I am wearing pants. Those are sentences complete right then and there. So these are things, brothers and sisters, we want to point out for edification purposes. All right? That's talking Hebrew already. See? So when we talk about Hebrew is easy, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Let's go on. Only thing you have to do is know a good amount of verbs and then just go on and build your vocabulary. Let's go on. I think, and we're going to sit there, brothers and sisters, and show it with a different color pen. I think, said in Hebrew, is ani modeh. Ani modeh. Okay? Mo. Now, in most cases in Israel, among Israelites, you usually hear them say modeh ani. Modeh ani, as opposed to ani modeh. Either way is correct. Whether you say the pronoun before the verb or the verb before the pronoun. All right? So that's something we want to point out, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes. Okay? Are there any questions concerning what we have gone over and concerning what we're talking about now? Any questions or comments, brothers and sisters? Okay. Let's go on to the next part. And we want to use the highlighter today on that one, all right? We're going to use the light blue one. I watch. Said in Hebrew as what? Ani shomer. Ani shomer. So let's look at this from the aspect of some of the pronouns. The pronouns that we've gone over, when you go to say lesson number 7 and lesson number 25, right? Ani ata at hu he anaknu atamatem him him. Those are some of the pronouns we've gone over. Then there's another set of pronouns that we've also gone over. Oti, otka, otak, oto, ota, otanu. Etkem, etken, otam, and otan. So let's look at this right here with the word shomer. Shomer meaning watch or observe, right? Ani shomer oto, I watch him. Ani shomer ota, I watch her. Ani shomer otam, I watch them. See, once you understand the pattern of how it goes, and you've been noticing the quite frequent, not 100% in this lesson, but quite frequent nonetheless. Okay? So again, this class is open, brothers and sisters, for those who happen to have any concern for this language. All right? Let's go on, if we will, to the next part. All right? And we want to highlight this, say in the green. I ask. Said in Hebrew as Ani Shoel. Ani Shoel. So we have show, ask or asking. Okay? Ani Shoel. Now, how do you say question in Hebrew? Anybody? Do you know how to say the word question in Hebrew? The Hebrew word, brothers and sisters, for question is she'ela. So one would say, Ani sho'el, I am asking. And we already know that A is part of the understood list. So one would say, Ani sho'el she'ela, I am asking a question. See how that goes? Ani dober, I am speaking. Wa ani sho'el, and I am asking a question. Wa ani lobesh kippah, and I am wearing a hat. We're going to get into this more and more as we go on because I want to emphasize the simplicity of how to make sentences in Hebrew. All right? So let's go on, if you will, to the next part, or in this particular one right here. And we want to spend a little time on this as well. All right? I build. The Hebrew way to say that, brothers and sisters, is ani boneh. Ani stays consistent. I or I am, that stays consistent. All right? Ani boneh means build, building, or build. Now, who in here knows, brothers and sisters, how to say the word building in Hebrew? When I say building, I'm talking about the noun, like I am in a building. All right? I'll give you a hint for one thing, okay? The word malone means hotel. The word dirah means apartment. The word keder means room. But how do you say the word building? Anybody? We have Ani kore, I read. Ani lobesh, I wear. Why is somebody asking something with a question mark? I think. Ani modeh, I watch. Ani shomer, I ask. Ani shoel, I build. Ani boneh. Now, this is something I want to point out in this particular class. Though most of us are grown already, many of us are already still babies in the language. And we're taking steps in this. When a baby, for those who have children, falls or wonders something, they do it and just say it's going to be right because this is my presentation already. So this is my suggestion. Let us not, when we dialoguing or when we're conversing, should I say, one with another in a language, don't, and I say this in due respect, let's not second guess ourselves. If you understand the word for building to be binyan, just say binyan. This is just my suggestion. You know, this is not something that we have to go and tiptoe in and wonder about. Let's grab it by the horns and ride it. And this is my point once it comes down into it. The word building, yes, is the word binyan. All right. And so this is what we want to point out in that particular case. And I want to spell this word out. Like I said, I want to spend a little bit of time on this particular one, if we will. Binyan. And I want to put the vowels different in color, in red, if you will. These are the kinds of things we used to go over in Hashaba back in 1993. And so this is why I titled this lesson, Brothers and Sisters, in honor of Emah Tamekyah, because she was one of the Morot, one of the female teachers that was in that congregation. I know because I sat under her as her student. You understand? So now we're talking what? From age 13, I'm now 39, giving honor to the Most High 26 years later, giving it back to the people, just as it was done, free. Okay, so this is something we want to point out, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes. All right, the word binyan here means building. So let's go and say this in edification purposes. Ani boneh means I am building. Ani boneh binyan, I am building a building. Ani boneh malone, I am building a hotel. Ani boneh mechonit, I am building a car. All right. So these are just a couple of examples that we just want to show for edification purposes. All right. Any questions concerning what we've gone over so far? Please feel free to type it in. Now let's look at some of the stuff that we've done so far, right? We have the word boneh, which means building, the verb itself. All right. We have the word shoel, which means asking. Okay. We have the word, brothers and sisters, modeh. This is used a lot, obviously, in prayers, like when you're giving thanks. So we have modeh, boneh, and shoel. Okay, all explained and what we have gone over, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes. All right. Any questions? Please feel free, brothers and sisters, to comment as such. All right. Let's go on, brothers and sisters, to the next part. Gets a little bit harder, but Hebrew is not difficult. Or should I say it gets a little bit different or more complex, should I say. I don't want to ever say that Hebrew becomes harder because that goes against the stance of the book I wrote, which is easy. Okay, so let's look at this right here, brothers and sisters, right? We're going to show it with the pen and say, I wash, which in Hebrew, it says, Ani rohetz. Ani rohetz. Ani, I or I am stays the same. Ani rohetz. Okay? How do you say dish in Hebrew? Anybody? Please feel free to type in, how do you say dish, D-I-S-H in Hebrew? The word dish, anybody? Does anybody care to say what they think the word is or understand the word to be? How do you say dish in Hebrew? Okay, thank you. I understand that is to say zalachat. The word zalachat, because we understand that D is supposed to be a K, but we're going to move on. Thank you for that, Bat Yisrael. And I want to verbally state, thank you, Bat Yisrael, for sharing the videos that I've done. I've noticed it on the playlist that you have. I appreciate that. Thank you for the sharing and the support. All right. But the word zalachat, all right, means plate. Thank you. Yes. The word zalachat, ani mode otak. I thank you. See how we just made a sentence with that? With the word modeh already explained. Ani modeh, I thank otak. I thank you. That's a whole sentence. See, Hebrew, we want to emphasize, brothers and sisters, is not difficult. It is not difficult whatsoever. Hebrew is different, but it's not difficult once we understand how the format is. What does it say in Proverbs 8? I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of devices. So when I'm like where I work at in commercial America, when I see Verizon come in and they going through with the wires, I'm like, how do y'all do that? Because they studied it. That's how they know what's what. I remember when I was working inside of the college and the HVAC people came, they took down, I don't know, the vent or whatever the word that thing is, and they just did some work and then the AC started working because they knew what they was doing. You understand? Once you understand what you're doing, it becomes easier, whatever the subject matter is. And this is not to say or sound haughty, but to be humble, not to be funny. I cannot, and this is no bash on self. I can't cook. Any Yaakov and Bashel, I do not know how to cook. So, looking at it like that, when I see people, males and females alike, like when I was in Hashaba around Passover time, and the men were cooking along with the women, or certainly the men were doing certain things along with the food. I don't have that gift. The Most High did not give everyone a particular gift all the way around. You understand? But it doesn't mean that you don't apply to certain things that can be helpful either. You understand? This is something I want to point out for the edification purposes, brothers and sisters. So when we sit back and look at a particular aspect and know as this class is dedicated to Emah Tamekyah, as I pointed out, I remember I now, blessed be the Most High, 39 years old. I remember being 13 in Hashaba when it was in New York. That was, as stated, 26 years ago. 26 years ago. If a person was born, brothers and sisters, around that time, 26 years ago, that person is now, today, old enough to be married with a child. You see how long that time span has happened? This is what we want to point out, giving honor and praise unto the Most High. Now, the word for dish, brothers and sisters, is the word more properly kali. Kali is more so the word for dish itself. So if we're saying, brothers and sisters, ani rokates, ani rokates, one would say ani rokates kali. I am washing a dish. That's a whole sentence. Ani rokates roshi. I am washing my head. Ani rokates aznai. I am washing my ears. Ani rokates bigadai. That's a new one dropped on you. You understand? Ani rokates bigadai. Now, we asked earlier, what is the word for garment? And Bat Yisrael said beged, correct. So if beged means garment, what does bagadai mean? Anybody want to take a shot at that? What does the word bagadai? If we already know beged means garment, can anybody try to figure out, or does anybody already know what does bagadai mean? Somebody typed in my, correct. But my what? My garment? Okay, that's in the ballpark. So let's try one more time. Because beged, begadai, the BGD in root is still in there, right? So let's try that again. My what? And I'm asking this, and I think the brother Yair. Let me ask you a question, Ak, if you're able to hear what I'm saying. Yahir, are you saying it that, or did you take the name with the meaning of it will illuminate? From the Hebrew root word ha'ir, Yahir, what would you say your name means, or what you named yourself or so? Means it will illuminate? I'm asking that question because I understand, like in a prayer in the book of Numbers, it says, Ya'ir ya panaw alecha, which means may the Most High face shine, or to illuminate, or to glow, if you want to use it in the word for glow. But is that what you're saying the word Yahir means? Okay. All right. You said yes. All right, cool. So, all right. Now, okay. Now, one person had it directly right after Yahir said, my garments. Correct. Yahir, as well as the brother Dora, said, my garments. And that's what it means. So if one were to then say, Ani roketz begadai, I am washing my garments. Let's drop this down, brothers and sisters. Let's go back, if we will, right? And let's look at this right here with the red as the underline. Ani holek, I am going. Ani holek, I go, or I am going. Right? Ani holek leneged. What does the word neged means? What? What does neged mean? Anybody? Does anybody have an understanding of what the word Neged means all right, south. Ani holek leneged. I go to the south. Ani roketz begadai. I wash my clothes. It does mean against, but it was more so in the direction form. Thank you, Bat Yisrael. All right. Ani holek leneged. I go to the south. Ani roketz begadai. I wash my garments. Ba malone. You can scroll up if you want. But what does the word malone mean? We went over that a little while ago. This right here is making sentences, brothers and sisters. All right. And what I was asking a friend of mine that's actually an admin in this page or in this channel is what are some of the common things that people I this, I this, I that? What are some of the common words throughout the course of the day that people speaking of themselves do? So that's how I come up with this list here. All right. What does the word malone mean? We went over that word earlier. Anybody? The word malone means hotel. Ani holek leneged. I go to the south. Ani roketz begadai. I wash my garments by malone in the hotel. That is a whole sentence. There's other ways to say it, but we're going to keep it with the verbs that we've gone over. See, once you understand certain aspects of verbs that's like commonly used, you'll be able to sit there, brothers and sisters, and then just build your vocabulary. All right? Once you build your vocabulary and you got your verbs, it becomes much more simpler. All right? Brothers and sisters, if there's anybody who happens to have any questions or comments, please feel free to put it inside the comment board. The sister Tahila, and I'm going to inbox her on Facebook to let her know I spoke about her on this particular channel, who has also does Hebrew classes. And I am humble enough to say that her classes are even better than mine, I must say. I want to state this, brothers and sisters. She posted on Facebook something that said, ask your question because your question may be a question that somebody else already has. You understand? So this is something for edification purposes. There is a thing in Hebrew. Does anybody know what that word means? Sab lanut or sab lanut, whether you want to say with the vet, which we don't really do here, but I usually say lila toba, not lila tova, but that's another subject. All right, but what does anybody know? What does the word sab lanut mean? Anybody? Does anybody know, brothers and sisters, what the word sab lanut? Okay, somebody typed in forgive us. No, that Ba Israel is more so said as Salak Lanu. Salak Lanu means forgive us. Another way to say forgive us is Kapir Lanu. Kapir Lanu or Salak Lanu. But the word Sablanut, we want to emphasize, if we don't hear a nu at the end, it is nothing about us. The word otanu means us. The word lanu means for us. So salaklanu means forgive us. Kapir lanu means also forgive us or pardon us, if you will. The word abinu, that more so means our father. So that doesn't really mean us in that regard. But I just want to emphasize, if you don't see or hear in Hebrew where the suffix is nu, then it's nothing of us in that particular regard. All right? So hopefully that's understood for edification purposes. All right? So does anybody know what does the word sablanut mean? The word sablanut, brothers and sisters, is a word that when you are a said or understood as a more, one has to have. That's a hint. Anybody? Alrighty. It means patience. The word sablanut means patience. I've never understood Yair, the word sablanut mean practice. The word I understand for the word for practice is the word lemuda, which means like a learning or a teaching. That's a practice. Because what a person practices what he or she has learned. So maybe we can discuss that aspect of Salanut, perhaps meaning practice as well. But let's look back at this, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes, right? I wash, as we've gone over, shown there. Now let's look, if we will, we want to show with the pen again, all right? I play. In Hebrew, brothers and sisters, is the word to say, ani misachek. All right? So we have already rotates, washing, and playing. Ani misachek means I am playing. All right? So let's continue on, brothers and sisters. And we want to show this with a different color, if we will. Let's show this one in black. All right? I am hungry. Said in Hebrew as Ani Ra'eb. And I want to write this out. You may want to get your pen and paper for this. This is part of what they refer to, though not in here, as an irregular verb. We don't really call it irregular, but that's what is referred to as when you deal with collegiate Hebrew. Ani Ra'eb. All right? Meaning I am hungry. The reason why I wanted to show that is because it doesn't follow the aspect. All right? It follows is aspect. Ra'eb. All right? Any questions? Let me know. So let's look, brothers and sisters, with some of the vocabulary that we've gone over. Let's scroll back up to the very beginning. All right? And what do we see here? I want. Ani rotzeh. Ani rotzeh. How do you say food in Hebrew? Anybody? How do you say food in Hebrew, brothers and sisters? See, me having been called greedy as a little boy, I remember being teased when people said you will sit there and know that word you always want to eat. So, how is it, if I may ask, how is food said in Hebrew? Meats, not exactly, Yahir. The word meats more so means juice. All right? And somebody typed lehem. Okay, I understand that is to say lechem. The word lechem literally means bread. But you can't say your bread is your food in the aspect of being synonymous. Then Bat Israel typed in Ohal. Ohal, brothers and sisters, is from the root word akal, which means to eat. So if we were to use the root word akal, thank you for that, for to eat, right? That verb meaning for food would be akila. Now, the more so commonly used word for food is the word mazon. Mazon is the most commonly used word. All right. Now, in the Bible, when it says that she saw the tree that it was good for food, the word that's used there for food is la akla, which comes from the root word akal, with the prefix of the lamed there in that regard. We'll explain that when we move on in other lessons. But I just wanted to go over this part right here. Any questions? Please feel free to comment. Thank you for that, Yair, by typing in the word mazon. So when we see here, ani rotze, I want. I ni rotze mazon. What would that mean? I want food. Ani rotze mazon. I want food. Now, what does this word mean? I understand when you say that you doubled it because a lot of dictionaries, or when you read Bible dictionaries, Dora, they do that. I understand that. You know, they sit there and they put the H and then they put a dot over it to sound with the strong H sound or the H. I understand why you did that. I just wanted to be phonetically correct. That's all. Once it came down to that. The word we're looking at there inside the comment board is the word madua. What does the word madua mean? Anybody? Brothers and sisters, does anybody know what the word madua means? The word madua is a question, and it means why. So let's look at what we've gone over. Ani rotse, I want. Ani rotse mazon, I want food. Madua, why? Ki, what does ki mean? Anybody? Ki means what? Does anybody have an idea of what the word ki means? There's several meanings, but type in the one that you understand the word ki to mean. In this regard, brothers and sisters. Okay, that, for, or because. Thank you. The word because is more so the direct one I was looking for. Ani rotse, I want. We already discussed the word mazon. Ani rotse mazon, I want food. Madua, why? Ki, because. Ani ra'eb, because I am hungry. That is a whole sentence. We already went over the word ki in the past. We already went over the word, brothers and sisters, mazon several times. So if you've been taking these lessons and going back and taking notes and seeing what we're doing right here, you'll be able to see how the structure is coming together to make sentences for able to converse one with another. Y'all here, you typed in the word wrong. What happened with that? Enlighten me, please. Let's look over this next one right here. And we want to color code this as well. In the purple with the pen. I am thirsty. Said in Hebrew as Ani Zame. Ani. And as we said earlier, these are all things that males would say, not females. All right. Oh, you said that you thought it meant to me. Well, no, ki means because, and li means to me. All right. Here we see, and we want to color code the vowels, if we will, with that. Zame. Ani zame. I am thirsty. I wanted to show this written out so that way we could begin to see, whereas we had before O Holek, Koteb, Rotse, Showman, the O-A. This one right here follows a different aspect. This is not O-A, this is A-A, and it's still in the present tense. All right? So now let's look at this. Any questions? Let it be known. Ani rotse. I want. Somebody typed in the word earlier this. Meat, which means juice. Right? Ani rotse meat. I want juice. Madua. Why? Ki ani zame. Because I am thirsty. Ani shote. Remember that word we went over earlier? We want to go back, right? To I drink. Ani shote. We went over that. Ani shote meat. I drink juice. Madua. Why? Ki ani zame. Because I am thirsty. Ani rotse. I want. Ani rotse mayim. What does mayim mean? I ain't translating this one. I'll sit there and shut the class down. LOL. What does mayim mean? What does mayim mean? Anybody? If you are part of online or inside a physical congregation, you heard the song, in many cases, Baruch Hashem, Hu no te lekem umayim gam. Thank you. I was not trying to translate that word because we all, that's like as common as Torah is another word as common as that. Okay, good. Thank you. Mayim meaning water. So let's look at this, brothers and sisters. Ani shote, I drink. Ani shote mayim, I drink water. Madua, why? Ki, because ani zame. See how that sentence was just formulated? If you've been taking notes, we could begin to see what we're talking about. Any questions so far? This is present tense, only with the masculine speaking in this particular regard. Any questions? Please feel free to comment. Now, this I got thinking of, may she rest in peace, my mother. And I remember saying, like, my mother used to always, tell us as children, stop. And I'm saying, well, how come you never say start? And then the response would be start your schoolwork, something like that. But this is what made me want to use this word right here, right? And we want to highlight this in her favorite color, no highlight, which was green, or which, was green. So let's look at it like that. Highlight, green. I start. And we're going to highlight here. This, brothers and sisters, okay, is said as Ani, which is I or I am. Ani mat kill. I'm going to write this out so we could begin to see what we're talking about. All right. Mem. Because this is not quote unquote irregular, but it's just not the qual stem. This is the he filled stem. And you know it's the he ill stem. He ill stem because it had the ill at the sound of the end with the word kill. And as we went over before in lesson number 43, was it? The he filled stem in the present tense always is prefixed with a mem. That's thus you see the mem there, ma, kill, ma, the M in the beginning of such. But let's go on. Any questions? Feel free to ask, brothers and sisters. Mat, kill. So let's put, brothers and sisters, the pen, and we want to use the red, if we will. Mat, kill. Mat, kill. Ani matchil means I am starting or I start. This towel has a shawah underneath it. We explained the shawah in lesson number 4. For those who are interested, you can go back. All right? Ani matkil. I am starting. Ani matkil hashur. What does the word, anybody? Shu'ur mean? This is not shur that you read of in the book of the Bible. All right, that's a different aspect. All right. What does the word shi'ur mean? Anyone? It means lesson. Ani matkil shi'ur. I am starting a lesson. Remember, A, am, are, or understood. So when we say Ani matkil, I am starting A. The word A is already understood in Hebrew in that regard. Ani matkil shi'ur. I am starting a lesson. Questions, comments, please feel free. Then we have, brothers and sisters, I finish. Ani, as we've been keep on saying, ani, and so forth. Ani gomer. So let's look. We have Ra'ab, hungry. Zame, thirsty. Matkil, start. Gomer, finish. Ani gomer, I am finishing or I finish. Ha'im, yesh she'elot, are there any questions? Ani sho'el, I am asking. Kal she'elot bakita, are there any questions in the class? Im yesh leka she'ela, if you have a question, sha'al sha'alatka, ask your question. Madua ani omer, why am I saying hadabar, the thing, achao now? Ki, because ani gomer, I am finishing hakita, the class, because I am finishing the class. Please feel free to reach out, 908-587-4841, or you can go to Kashub Hut at gmail.com. Okay? Any questions, comments, please feel free to ask. Somebody wrote Toda Yah. Thanks to Yah. I'm going to say Shalom, Lala Tob, Shabbat, Shalom, Lala Tob, Shalom Lakem. Ani Holek Akshal. I'm going now. Ani Gomer Hakita. I am finishing the class. Ani Dober Lakem Lala Tob. I'm speaking to you all. Good night.